Hello YouTube, I'm Alston and I make YouTube videos for people that are just getting started with affiliate marketing, passive income, and making money online. The purpose of my YouTube videos is to fill in the gaps that some of the other YouTubers miss. Today I'm going to provide a brief overview of email marketing. Last week I gave a brief introduction as to what email marketing is. I kind of explained it. This week I'm going to provide more of an in-depth overview. I'm going to talk about basically the who, what, when, where, why, and how of email marketing. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if this video or any other video on this channel has helped you in any way. So let's get started. So first things first, I'm sure you have come across someone out there that has said email marketing is dead. That couldn't be furthest from the truth. I'm sure that you get tons of emails every day from thousands, hundreds of people getting you to click on their links or purchase a product. Email marketing is one of the most productive types of marketing that's out there because you are getting hold of a interested or relevant party. You're getting right into their inbox, their email inbox, and you know that they're at least somewhat interested in the product or service that you're offering. So from there, you have to either you have to warm up the lead or you have to do some sort of action to get that interested or relevant party to make an action, whether it's to buy a product or service, to commit to something, to check out your brand. It's much easier to use email marketing to grow your business or your brand than to hope that someone comes on your website or your YouTube channel. So let's talk a little bit about email marketing. So some things that you need to consider when it comes to email marketing, you need to consider the audience. You need to consider, define your goal. So what's the purpose of your email or email campaign? You need to consider your open rate. And really when it comes down to marketing in general, conversion rates are pretty important, and understanding what a conversion rate is and how your conversion rates influence your success or failure is very important when it comes to marketing, and especially email marketing. In general, you want to have at least an open rate of 20%. Now that's going to vary depending on the product or service or what your goal is, but you want to try and shoot for at least 20% of the emails that get sent out get open. And so there are some things that you can do or attempt to do to make sure that that percent stays at 20, So we'll say engaging titles is definitely one. Building a brand, building curiosity is definitely some ways to make sure that your open rate stays high. But the open rate is definitely going to vary depending on the product or service. Definitely going to vary depending on your brand and what your customers think of you. Personally, I would rather have an open rate of 80% with fewer people on my email list than 1,000 people on my email list, but only 20% open. Because the more people that open, the more opportunities you have to sell your product or service. So you also want to know your click-through rate. Basically, that is so your click-through rate is the rate or the percent that someone actually clicks or opens up a link that you have embedded in your email. And then, as I mentioned, conversion rates are incredibly important. Finally, you need to have a firm understanding of what you are planning to, what the purpose is of the email. So just getting started as an affiliate marketer, you want to define a process so that you can measure and achieve the results, which ultimately is more passive income. So if you follow these steps, you should have a pretty good starting point to launch an email marketing campaign and find some success. The first thing you want to do is you want to define your audience. So usually the audience is going to be around the product or service that you are an affiliate for. For example, if you are an affiliate for this tape here that I have on my desk, anyone that is looking to do maybe outdoor work, that has something heavy that they want to stick to a wall or something, that's going to be your audience. It can be, you can niche down, or you can funnel down to, let's say, men over 30 that have 3 kids. There's market research out there that you can do that. But if you're an affiliate marketer, you're probably going to want to focus someone that has a need where they want to they want to secure something outdoor that's relatively heavy. So once you have defined your audience, the next step is to define your goal. Now, when it comes to defining your goal, there's a few things that are involved. You want to define your goal as to the number of sales that you have earned. And usually what I like to do when I'm looking at conversions and defining a goal, I like to work backwards. If my goal is to get 10 sales total, I know that I need to get maybe an open rate of 50%. And then out of that 50% that open, I may want to get another 25% to click through. Again, that click-through rate that I mentioned. So if I know those numbers and I'm doing all of this to get 3 sales, I may want to target 25 people, or I may want to send this email out to 25 people, assuming that those other numbers fall in line. So again, when you are defining your goal, start with the end. Your goal, set a realistic goal. If you have 20 people on your email list and you are going to send out an email campaign about a product that is reasonably priced, you can try and shoot for maybe a 50% conversion from email to purchase. One thing that you should spend time doing, and what successful marketers do, is they really sit down and they talk about conversions. And once you start looking at conversions and thinking about conversions, you'll approach your business a little bit differently. You won't just send out your email all willy-nilly, because the number of emails that you send out does have a direct cost related to it. You can't just send out unlimited emails. The email provider that you use will cap. You can actually, your monthly cost for your email list can vary depending on the size. So you want to make sure that you're conscious and using conversions and percents to get an idea of how successful this campaign is. So let's say you're going to send out 1,000 emails and each email is $1. You're already going to spend $1,000. So you want to make sure that your conversions are such that you at least turn a profit of however $100. And so you need to approach it that way. If I need to make $100, knowing that I'm already $1,000 in the hole, you just have to work backwards. So again, you want to define your goal. Once you've defined your audience and you have defined your goal, the next thing you want to do is create a way for your users to sign up, or customers to sign up. And most likely you are going to complete what's called a landing page, a squeeze page, or an opt-in page. Those pages usually occur when you've provided some content. So for example, this YouTube video, at the end of the YouTube video, I'll tell you to click the link in the description, and that'll actually, if you click the link and you enter your email address, you'll go into my email list. And then eventually down the line, I can use that as for a campaign. So usually what you have to do, or what a successful marketer will do, is they'll provide 2 pieces of helpful content in order to get 1 piece of information. And so the first piece will be maybe a blog post. It can be a YouTube video. It can be a webinar. So that's piece number 1. And then, they'll direct you or funnel you into entering your email address so that you can get the second piece of helpful information. That second piece of helpful information is usually called a lead magnet. And with that, they're going to provide, the magnet's usually like an ebook, an infographic, maybe another webinar, something that's more in depth. They're dangling a piece of content in order to get your email address. The content, both pieces of content, have to be such that the customer feels compelled to leave their email address because you've helped them out so much. You can't just do a 2-minute YouTube video and then a 1-page PDF and then say, give me your email address. Usually that's not the best way to go about it. You want to provide so much content, so much helpful content, that the customer, potential customer, has no choice but to give you their email address, because they feel like you're just going to keep providing them with content. So that's the basic overview of collecting emails and starting the process of generating or creating your email list. A lot of people won't tell you that. They just say, and I've watched a number of these YouTube videos, they'll just say, you got to get an email list. You got to get an email list. Most people won't tell you how. Once you know the how, and it's very simple, it's you define your audience. So if I were to start this today, to generate an email list, I want to target people that are interested in making money online, that are interested in passive income, and that are just starting out. So that's my audience. It could be male, it could be female. Because I'm using YouTube, most likely it's going to be male. And so my goal is, at this point, would be to get maybe 50 email addresses, 50 quality email addresses, so that I can put them in my funnel to eventually sell them later. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a YouTube video like I'm doing now, and then I'll tell them, hey, to learn more about affiliate marketing or to grow your business, click on the link in the description for my free ebook. This ebook will walk you through the process of a more detailed email marketing campaign. So because I've already provided one piece of helpful content to you, you're going to think or feel compelled that that second piece of content, that lead magnet, is going to be equally as helpful. So you click on that link, you see a one-page lead magnet that pushes you to enter in your name and your email address, or just your email address, and then you click submit, and then either you are taken to a separate page, or you are emailed the PDF, the ebook, at a later date. And then once I have that, that's when I can start my campaign. I'll usually you can be put in an auto responder to generate the sales funnel to eventually get you to do what I want you to do. So that's really the basics of email marketing. That's how so many people wind up on an email list and they eventually buy something, an item. When you're thinking about email marketing, here's some things that you should consider. Personally, I like to approach everything with the who, what, when, where, why, how method, because it makes everything painfully clear and painfully obvious. So when it comes to who, again, who are you targeting? That'll help you with determining your audience. Who do you want what information, or whose information do you want to collect? You want to collect information from people that have an interest, desire, motivation to purchase the product or service that you are marketed for. Again, if we go with the passive income, I would target someone that is looking for make money online YouTube videos, or someone that has a need or a perceived need to make additional money on the side or passively. Also with who is sending the message? Is it coming from a person? Is it coming from a brand? Those are very different types of messages, and they relate to, or they can draw up different feelings. People have a negative feeling about giant like AT&T or McDonald's or Microsoft or Walmart. However, if you are getting an email directly from me, you may feel more of a personal connection. So that's something to consider as well. Next is what. What actions do you want them to take? If you are just starting out with affiliate marketing and you don't have a list, the what is simple. You want them to leave their email address so you can start them in a funnel of some sort. Also, what do you want them to know? If I was approaching it with passive income and make money online, I'd want them to know that I'm going to continually provide you with helpful content so that you feel compelled to take action and that you know, like, and trust me. Next is when. When do you want them to take action? You obviously, if you're trying to get them to sign up for your email list, you want them to take action immediately. You want them to click on the link in this description so that you can get them in your funnel. And one way to do that, again, is with a good lead magnet. If you provide them with an ebook, if you provide them with a webinar, usually something for free makes people feel compelled to provide something of value. It's like a this for that type of exchange. Next is where. Where do you want them to take action? Obviously, most of the time you want them to click the link. If it's a YouTube video, if it's a blog post, usually you can actually have a pop-up show up on the screen after a certain amount of time that the customer has been on your website, and then have them enter their email address, and you'll provide them with something of value. They click submit, and then you have the email address. Next is a very important one. Why? Why do you want them to take this step? Why do you want them to leave their email address? Usually the why is you're going to continue to provide them with helpful information so that they can find the success that they're looking for, or they can fulfill that that void or that perceived need that they're looking for. So if you can tap into that why, you can collect hundreds or thousands of email addresses, and you can get people to purchase your product or service that you're an affiliate for. Finally, we look at how. But one thing that can help you actually is listing how often you're going to contact them. You may want to say, hey, I'm going to contact you for the next 2 days, and then I'm going to take some time off. If you set the expectation right away, they don't feel put off by all of the amount of contact that you're doing. You may, let's just say briefly, expect an email from me within the next 24 hours with more information. Okay, so then now they're going to be looking for that email. If you can set that expectation, it will go a long way with building rapport, building relationship with a customer. And then finally, how to measure results. This is something that you want to make sure that you're spending some time thinking about. Maybe the result is collecting 20 email addresses, 20 quality email addresses, and maybe 5 fake email addresses, because that's going to happen too. You're going to get a Johnny Appleseed at appleseed.com, but a successful email or lead campaign that you run will net you a number of quality leads. So that's it with regard to the email marketing overview. This overview really took a look at collecting leads, or some of the things that you need to do to collect email addresses so that you can start your campaign. In later weeks, I'll actually talk a little bit more about creating a campaign, or some of the things that you need to do to launch or run a successful campaign. This was Alston. If this video or any other video in the channel has helped you out in any way, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and share this video. Once again, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.